Welcome to Dentalflix Uncut, the ultimate podcast where dental professionals discover the secrets to exponentially growing their practice. We are Dr. Anissa Holmes and Allison Lacusier, the co-founders of Dentalflix, and each week we're bringing the dental industry's giants to you. From elite educators to transformative speakers, from innovative coaches to top-tier consultants, we deliver the insights of those who have revolutionized the dental field. Are you ready to elevate your practice beyond your wildest dreams? Stay tuned. A world of unmatched growth and success awaits with Dentalflix Uncut. Welcome to another episode of the Dentalflix Uncut podcast. We are here with none other than Neo Positivity. Welcome to the show, Neo. It's great to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's my honor.
Let's just kick it off and tell the audience who you are and what you do in the industry to help people.
Well, I am Neo from neopositivity.com. I am a mindset specialist and the voice of the Thoughts Become Things movement. As you can see, I always have a shirt on that says that. And how I help in the industry, well, I'll just put it like this. Elijah Desmond, shout out to him, and Smiles at Sea in the Dental Festival, brought me in to dentistry because of the suicide and depression rate. And he heard me speaking and he said, listen, all that you just said, I need you to say all that at my events. And that's my whole thing, getting people to change that brain muscle memory to throw at them something differently than what it's used to throwing at. The brain will throw at us normally around 94+% of our thoughts are on autopilot, and it's just giving us what it's used to giving us. What I do is I teach ways to tweak that brain muscle to throw at us different thoughts throughout the day, and that helps you respond to bad emails and bad messages or bad news differently. And it's a total mind makeover, and that's what I'm bringing to the industry as strong as I can.
So
I
this
love
is
it.
Dentalflix Uncut. Like, I want to know, like what got you to where you are now?
Well, I was a cop in Kansas City, New Jersey. At the time, it was the poorest and most dangerous city in America. And my old partner was a retired CIA agent. And he tells me about this movie that they make all the recruits watch. They have to watch it no matter how many times they've seen it. And I'm expecting some SWAT team, rapid deployment type movie. And it actually was a movie called The Secret. And I don't know who's familiar with that movie, but that's what taught me the phrase thoughts become things, and that my thoughts are dictating my future. I got obsessed with the concepts, started creating my own mental exercises. 8 months later, I was retired, which was a huge goal of mine as soon as I saw the movie. And from then, I felt like nothing could stop me. And so I just would point at things that I wanted and use my techniques, and I would get those things. And then I would come up with better techniques and read through books and find other techniques from Oprah Winfrey and Steve Jobs and, all the greats. And so it was a working formula, and it got me everything: custody of my kids, my pilot's license. I live in Florida. I got a trailer, a big old house. Everything I aim at, I use my techniques and I get it. And I cannot keep that to myself. I'm just driven to share this with as many minds and as many ears that will listen. And that's why I do what I do.
So we know, I'm like deep into neuroscience and the brain and manifestation. Like, I love this stuff. And a lot of people have doubts. A lot of people are like, it's not that simple. It can't be this easy. How do you help people overcome that? Because that is one of the keys, right? Is believing that what you want is possible. It's believing that your future that you're driving for is attainable for you. How do you help people overcome that belief?
One thing that will make people change is fear. I can tell you great ideas. I can tell you all kind of formulas, and you might like them, but you might not try them. But if I tell you to stop walking down that alleyway because people keep getting robbed there, you're not going to go down that alleyway anymore. And that's what I do. I try to get people to fear their negative thoughts. Basically, think of every negative thought you have as taking food or money off the table for you and your kids and your future. And if I can get you to really wrap your head around that, then you will proactively hit the mind gym, as I like to call it. If you're going to spend 2 hours a day in the gym lifting weights, then you need to spend at least 2 hours a day working on your mind. And if I can get you to spend more time working on that, you'll see the results and you'll see how it works. And I also got to get you to see how tough it is to be able to control your mind. Like, think of the last time you had a loved one, a grandparent in the hospital, and you're trying to be positive, but the negatives the scenarios just keep coming in. The brain is a tricky thing, and it will mess with you when it messes with you. And if you're not equipped to handle it, or you don't have those autopiloted switches going off to take a negative narrative and reroute it, if you don't have that going on, the battle's going to be tougher. So if I can show you how this works, you'll be on point. You'll use it and it'll work. And then from there, you're hooked, just like I was.
So, question for you, right? As you have been working with people who have these things that are holding them back, right? Like they want to have a better practice, right? But there's something that's holding them back, right? There's a story that they have, or there's something that happened to them maybe in their childhood. And because of that, it's robbing them twice, right? It robbed them first when it hurt them, and it's robbing them again now because they're not moving forward because they're holding on to that belief or that story, right? And so I'd love for you to share a little bit more about maybe a story about someone who's maybe transformed, and maybe the outcome of being able to have their beliefs be changed by a new belief, right? And the outcome and how it transformed maybe their business, or maybe their life, or maybe both.
Well, I start off by saying this. You could be the victim for as long as you're the victim up here. Your priority has to shift. You have to want that change so much that you're willing to do anything to get out of that victim mode. And just a real quick story I can give you is mine. You know, I grew up in the poorest, probably still the poorest, number one poorest and most dangerous city in America. You know, where the teachers and the principals and the guidance counselors are telling you you're not going to make it past 18. And if you do, you're not going to make it to 21. Where everybody is just downing you. When you walk home from school, you pass by this drug dealer, you pass by that drug dealer, and they want you to work. Be out here tomorrow at 4. You got a problem. You got to take another way home where there's other drug dealers. Being able to live that PTSD, always head on a swivel, what's going on inside and outside of the house. There's all these threats coming at you and everyone telling you that you'll never make it out. Those are some huge things to overcome. They are. And most of the people I know are still in the hood right now. I can't get them to leave. They just live there. They think that's their lives. There has to be something in you, some kind of fight, some kind of fuego that makes you drive to get out of that, and you will get out of that. And it's going to be a lot easier for people who have that. For others who are more just calm, laid back, they just stay in their atmosphere, you're going to have to develop something, whether it be a dream job, a dream family situation, whatever goal it is. You have to find that what it is you truly want, which a lot of people haven't really looked into that. What you truly want, find that, and then drive towards it. And then that drive has to be the contributing force that gets you to overcome the victim mode of the things you might have been through in your childhood. And you're going to do the mental exercises. The key thing is, just like I said, the mental exercises. I can tell you what to do. I can tell you exactly what to do, how to do it, how long to do it, but you have to do it. I said, go to the gym every day, the mind gym. You have to go to the mental gym. You have to do these workouts every day. Think of all of this like jogging. If you do it every day, you're good at it. If you stop doing it, you're not good at it anymore. And the mind's going to go back to playing those tricks on you. All those autopiloted thoughts, Facebook, things I don't like about my spouse, things I don't like about my house, things I don't like about my job. All those are going to start coming back into your mind. You have to stay vigilant, do these exercises every day, which means have the drive to do them. Set alarms, little triggers that go off throughout the house. Find an accountability partner that you can bounce off of each other every day and use those to get through. But vigilance and practice is everything. It's 100% everything. And getting the drive to do those, to remember to do those every day, will overcome any traumatic childhood incident. It's not going to go nowhere. You're just going to view it differently, and you're going to take the power from it.
What are some of the results you've seen just from people being able to do this? Because I know I talk about meditation all the time, and a lot of my clients, as much as they understand the science of it, as much as they understand how beneficial it is, sometimes they just don't do it. But for the people that do, we can see these amazing results, this amazing shift and this transformation in their demeanor and the way that they look at life. What do you see when people can stick to these the mental workouts? Like what happens?
There's two ways I see to kind of change in your life. You can get all the things you want, be it a possession like a job, a spouse, children, a car, a house, or you can be happy on the inside. I've met homeless people that have found happiness and they're just happy. And I know millionaires in Tampa that have all the materials in the world and they're just miserable. When you adapt these meditation and mental exercises and make them a part of your life, you begin to manifest the things that you want. And that, of course, is going to make you happier because they're things that you want. Food for me and my family, things that I want, they're going to make me happier. But another side that comes with meditation is the inner happiness, the peacefulness. So you're going to get both with these practices because it would be cool to be peaceful and not have anything, all the toys that we want in life. But having them both is a whole nother level of peace. It's a whole nother level of happiness just to wake up the way I wake up. I'm retired. When I wake up, I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything. I eat what I want. I go where I want. I say what I want. I do what I want. And it's just that lifestyle. It's just amazing. And I've been doing this since 2008. I've been in this mind frame, in this space. I retired in 2008 and I've just been great. And that is the total result. Happiness, enjoying life, being in joy throughout your life and being happy every single day. And even on the days, there's times when I'm just blah, I'm not happy, but that blah has a blanket of I'm good. I don't gotta go nowhere. I don't gotta do nothing. I don't gotta go do none of these shows, none of these speeches no more if I don't want to. I could just relax. And that's the peace that you want. That is the peace that you want.
So I know Allison helps a lot, specifically women, right, with worthiness, right? Are we worthy of the goal? Are we worthy of that home or that business or right? And so I'm very curious. Some people say, well, maybe to their partner or their spouse, well, why can't you just accept me as I am? Right. And maybe it's like, maybe they don't feel that they're worthy of becoming that person that can have that business or that home or that car or income. Right. And so how do we shift people, right, to go from other people can have that, but I can't, right? Like other people can do that, but I could never. I'm just going to accept my weakness and that's just who I am, versus like going through the process of transforming your beliefs and becoming a higher version of you, so that all of a sudden you start to say, actually, I can have it all. Right. And a lot of that, I believe, has to do with our thoughts. Right. And it's not like seeing is believing, but believing is then seeing. Right. So I know you speak a lot. I know, like, prior to coming into the dental industry, like, you've been on tons of stages, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I'd love for people to know, just, a little bit more about your background, because they might be like, who's this guy on this podcast, right? But like, I'd love for them to know that where you're coming from in terms of the number of people that you've spoken to, that you've reached with your message, right? So that they can understand why we brought you here on this podcast. But number two, like, how do we shift people to go from, I just have to accept that I'm not good enough, right? To changing their thoughts, to saying, I can be whatever I want to become.
All right, let me start off with the first one. And I think I can do this pretty quickly. I've spoken to over 140,000 people, and my email list is 147,000. So we're gonna let those numbers speak for themselves as far as who became fans after seeing me speak. Um, as far as the other one, I guess I was in a similar situation, and I see reels on Facebook and Instagram all the time saying, "Don't share your dreams with your parents. Don't share your dreams with your friends because they're gonna shoot them down." I lived that situation. My father is my best friend. He's always been my best friend, but every dream or big goal I've taken to him, he shot down immediately. He just wanted me to be a police officer and retire because that's how he was raised. Just you're not going to make it big. The percentage of people that make it big in whatever industry is so small. Just shoot for this. You won't be disappointed. You know, all those old negative narratives that followed him. And I couldn't get him to stop. Even I would even have conversations with him like, listen, you know, you wonder why we don't talk that much anymore? Because every time I get on the phone with you and share great news, you shoot it down. You tell me not to get as happy because it might not go that far. And I don't know that many people. You know people by getting to know people. And that didn't even get through. But what got through was the proof. The proof is in the pudding. I started proving, I started manifesting, I started getting everything I wanted to the point where he was looking at me like I was magical, like this kid is on to something. And not that he's 100% meditating every day now, but he's a fan of the concept. He's using it proactively himself when he maybe not meditating and doing mental exercises like affirmations, but when he finds himself being negative while he's washing dishes or just walking down a hallway or driving through traffic, when he finds himself running negative scenarios, he'll cut them off proactively, stop them in their tracks, and either just breathe it off and think of something else or actually run a positive scenario like, you know, a futuristic, it would be great to have a vacation here, or it was great last time we had a vacation there, an appreciative type of thought pattern. So that's one of the biggest ways that I could say to do that. You can't push this mentality onto people. It's one of the first things you learn when you watch The Secret. Is trying to push this onto somebody just isn't going to work. From what they've known from birth, it contradicts all of the concepts behind this. So prove to them that it's working for you and they'll come around. If they don't, you just got to wait. If it's your spouse who's being extremely negative and you can't just leave them, then you're going to have to chip away at that negativity with some killing with kindness. The proof is in the pudding. You know, like I said, manifesting, telling them what you want. Let them catch you in a daze during a commercial break on the sofa, just smiling, just thinking about a great scenario. When they ask you what you're doing, say, I'm just watering some good seeds. You'll see the garden. I'm watering them now. You'll see the garden soon. And let the proof come. They'll come around. Even the most negative person will at least try being positive in their mind to get the toys that they want. Once it works, you got them. You start to pull them in. But don't try to force it on anybody.
So it's actually Allison's turn to ask a question, but if you can give me a second, I just have a follow up on that, right? Because I think we're going somewhere. And you talked about your dad, right? A lot of dentists, you know, go into dental school because their parents say, be a doctor, be a lawyer, be an accountant, right? And the reason why is that they love us, right? And so they're giving us, maybe they were blue collar or maybe they, you know, worked so hard. And so oftentimes, like they're things that we're being told. My belief, right? I think a lot of times, like our parents are just doing the best, or our partners, like, you know, like even my ex-husband, right? Like he told me, like, why are you getting on that podcast? Right? You're like, I was the first female dentist podcast in the industry. Why are you on that microphone? Really? And so like I took it as negative. I've done a lot of work since, but he was saying that really out of love because he knew I was a good dentist. And he's like, if you're on that microphone, then you can't serve the patients and you're a great dentist, right? And so when we start to do this work, right, that I know that you're helping people to be able to do the work, that all of a sudden you start to realize, like, what's the other side of the coin? And so then now we can release that and we can have like understanding of why they said what they said. And then we can move past to really live our assignment and really step into who we are to become, right? And so I think the work you're doing is really powerful.
I want to say this, and this is for everybody. That dream, that goal, like you doing a podcast, that was meant for you. It was your dream. It was your goal, not his. So for someone else not to understand it or not to get it or to discourage it, take it with a grain of salt. That dream was meant for you, and you're killing it. You're obviously killing it. Now, the amount of people that you could affect in your dental practice is tremendous. It's great. And I love what you guys do, especially for people's confidence and their lives overall. But your reach with podcasts is clearly far more. You can go across the world and affect 1 billion people with 1 half-hour segment. And so love it, cherish it, keep doing it if that's what you love to do. I've interviewed over 2,000 specialists in the mind space in the past 16 years. And I ask everybody I interview, what do you love to do so much that you would do it for 40 hours a week for free? Let's say you got a check for a bunch, $10 billion, you've paid everything off and bought your family's houses and cars and medicals all taken care of. You're going to get bored after a little while and you're going to have to do something. What is it you would do? And literally, I might have gotten four answers. Might have gotten four answers, and two of them were from kids. Because everybody says, man, I never thought about it like that. And, people say, I love being a dentist. I love being a dentist. Da, 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 da. I said, okay, you're on vacation with your family, relaxing on the beach. You're going to stop and grab a chair and work on teeth for a little while. No, I'm going to have a drink. I'm going to eat some good food. I'm going to laugh with my kids. Well, those are the things. Let's get to doing that. And let's find what else you can do to help other people laugh with their kids or wherever it is you're going. Find what that is. Work hard to find what that is, and then just start to inch and nudge in that direction. And all of a sudden, the waves will be at your back. I did podcasts. It was great, but something was slightly off. I had my own TV show. It was great, but something was slightly off. I threw my own law of attraction summits. It was amazing, but something was slightly off. And so I keep moving to different things until I find something that's perfect. The waves will be at my back, thrusting me in that direction. I'll meet the people I need to meet. I'll have the funds that I need to have, and everything will just be beautiful. I get to just go out there and do what I love to do and talk. And that's the space that I'm in right now. Find what it is, keep tweaking and shifting until you find it. And then once you find it, throw your all into it, work at it, and the doors will open.
There's just something that I love that you said that I think it's worth like pointing out and kind of pulling forward as like a lesson is to listen to yourself. Like listen to what you want. What are your dreams? Like your own alignment is never going to lie to you. And I think that's something that you teach people in a really beautiful way. It's not about what everyone else wants. It's like, what does Neo want? What does Austin want? What does Anissa want? Like, what is that alignment for you? And stepping towards it inch by inch, nudge by nudge. It doesn't have to be super fast, but it's so possible. So thank you.
Definitely. I want to say this. For me, there's three voices that go off in my head. There's me, there's the intuition slash God slash universe, whatever you want to call it. And then there's the ego. And it goes like this. I see a Gucci book bag I want. I like that bag. My intuition says, you deserve that bag. You should get that bag. Then my ego says, but you could spend that money on a plane ticket to the next dental conference where you would meet a couple thousand people and bring in new clients and da da da. Those are the three voices. And you may overlook one and then skip right to the second one. You may go right to the third one. Being able to identify which voice to listen to is key. And that just comes with practice. I encourage everyone, talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. Go in a garage, take 20 minutes, ask yourself questions, and just listen to the answers. And you get an answer and ask questions like, why did I just think that? Why was that my answer? What would I have to do in my life to make that answer automatically be a better answer? What kind of mental exercises? Work at this. I did my best from midnight till 2 a.m. every single night, no matter where I'm at. I am in a quiet space talking to myself or talking into a recorder. And the reason why I'm talking to recorders is because I end up saying the dopest stuff I've ever said before, and I got to go back and write it down the next day and make a video about it and post it on Facebook and whatnot. But talk to yourself as much as you can and listen. Identify the voices and follow your gut and follow yourself, not the ego.
Well, thank you so much for being on the Dentalflix Uncut podcast. If anybody wants to work with you, reach out to you, tell us a little bit more specifically how you help people if they want to connect with Neo and have you transform their lives. How do they connect with you and what does that look like?
Just imagine a whole office or a whole house full of people who are proactively checking their negative thoughts and checking on each other throughout the day. Like, hey, have your thoughts been serving you? Have you done your affirmations today? What affirmations are you doing today? Imagine a team full of people working together like that. That's a successful group of people. That's a happy group of people who are getting what they want in life, while enjoying life. If that's the kind of atmosphere you want to be in, I'm literally the one, pun intended, from the Matrix, Neo. I'm literally the one. So neopositivity.com for all that. I come and do conferences. I do retreats. I visit the office in person. I do morning huddles. I have a morning huddle series for those who might not be able to come up with inspirational things. They're little 2 or 3 minute videos that you would play at the end of your morning huddle. All that's on the website. And now I'm doing the whole dental pitch brokerage thing, helping sell practices and stuff like that. So yeah, all on the website, neopositivity.com.
Thank you so much for being an amazing guest on the podcast, Neo. And we will stay tuned for another episode of Dentalflix Uncut.
Thank you guys for having me.
You've just unlocked valuable insights with Dentalflix Uncut, but there's more. Dentalflix is not just a podcast, it's a thriving community, a hub of knowledge, and the #1 online streaming CE platform in dentistry. With just a few clicks, you can start exploring a wealth of resources, including in-depth training on leadership, case acceptance, scheduling, hiring, weekly marketing calls, insightful gap assessments, and scorecards, all designed to help you master what you discovered today and propel you further on your path to dental excellence. Head to dentalflix.com to get started for free and embark on your journey towards mastery. Thanks for tuning in to Dentalflix Uncut. See you next time.